Good morning. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Hanna. We're anxiously awaiting the 8 a.m. Eastern update to see if the Hurricane Center upgrades this to a hurricane. Right now, a very strong 70-mile-an-hour tropical storm. This is Port Aransas, and the beach is completely underwater. We've got high tide in about an hour. Yesterday, we were, out where the waves are breaking. So you can get a sense of how high the water has come above normally dry ground. This is where you typically drive up and down the beach and park. Today, nobody's on the beach. And right now, we're in between the rain bands. Let's go to the radar. One has come through. We've gusted to 37 miles an hour. We've got another one just up the coast. And they're all wrapping around the center of Hanna, which is going to make landfall south of here sometime this afternoon. Big expanse of beach, but we also have a tremendous dune line here, upwards 15, some spots 20 feet. This is a heck of a dune line. I know a lot of beaches on the East Coast would like to have a dune like this for protective measures, and certainly that will keep the water away from all the properties here. Winds eventually may gust here 60 miles an hour. We're not going to be close enough to the center, I think, to get 70 or 80 mile an hour wind gust, but we will get a fair amount of rainfall. We've got a flash flood watch up here through tomorrow. Wind picking up a little bit now ahead of that next squall, Kelly, and the wind and the rain will increase as Hanna gets closer, although it will go into her south. It's moving west at about 10 miles an hour, Kelly. So is the new advisory in, or are we still waiting, Kelly?
Still waiting as of right now. Of course, we'll bring that to everybody as soon as it comes in from the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane hunters will also be flying through the storm later this morning, 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central Time, and they give such valuable information about these storms when they do that. So for now, it is a high-end tropical storm, but so close to being a hurricane. We're talking winds of 70 miles per hour. All you need are winds around 74 for this to be a Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, moving west at 9 miles per hour and about 100 miles still away from the coastline, but it is expected to slow down. And that's bad news in a couple of ways. First of all, it slows down. It still has the chance to strengthen over these warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Not just that, it's going to rain heavily for a longer period of time as the system slows down over deep South Texas and then eventually over northern Mexico as a tropical depression. So we do have hurricane warnings in anticipation of this being a hurricane when it makes landfall somewhere between Corpus Christi and Port Mansfield. We've got those counties shaded in purple. Storm surge warnings also in effect for that same general area. And in the red, that's where we have those tropical storm warnings in effect. So up and down the Texas coast, we're going to feel the impacts when it comes to tropical storm Hanna. Our likelihood of tropical storm winds, it's pretty high, as you can see noted in the purple here, between Corpus Christi and Brownsville. So power outages likely, even the threat for severe weather, including tropical tornadoes, cannot be ruled out. Whenever you have a tropical system interacting with land, you've got the threat for some quick spin-ups of tornadoes. Heavy rain, again, that is going to be the thing to watch, even with the rain bands before we have an official landfall. Rain bands extending all the way up into Louisiana. Onshore flow means we could have coastal flooding along the upper coast of Texas, but especially where we have the center moving onshore, that's where we have the strongest winds and therefore the chance for the heaviest rain too, anywhere from 8 to 12 inches possible in some areas. So again, likely to make a landfall as a hurricane late this afternoon toward the evening time frame. And Reynolds, this is not the only thing we're watching. We've got yet another system moving off the coast of Africa.
You're right about that, folks. If you take a look at this image, your eyes do not deceive you. That is right. We've got 4 different things that we're following. Hurricane Douglas, Tropical Storm Hanna, we've got Gonzalo, and as Kelly mentioned, yes, we've got this system that is chugging its way off the coast of Africa. Let's take a sharp look at it. And sure enough, you see the convection indicated by the bright colors that you see and a 50% chance of further development. And over the next 5 days, we expect this to continue its sail. Yes, a bit more towards the west. Could there be something in its way? Could there be shear, maybe some cooler waters or something that could impede the growth of the system? Maybe Saharan dust? I'll tell you, in terms of available moisture, as we go from, say, Saturday, notice that we've got plenty of it in all the places where this thing happens to go. Good for the storm, maybe not good for us, but certainly something we need to keep a sharp eye on. As we roll forward in time, we're following the Euro forecast model, one of many. We start off this Saturday, and we're going to continue to roll on forward, and we see this is spiraling its way on through. Possibly, if this holds through, look at this, we go into next weekend, into your Friday and Saturday, with some convection not far from Jamaica if this validates. A lot of changes between now and next weekend, and for the very latest, of course, Kelly, got to keep it here. Let's send it back to you.
Breaking news, Hannah is now a hurricane. The newest advisory just came in with winds of 75 miles per hour, a Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. So we've got a lot of activity, and we want to hear your questions about all the storms that we're watching. Time now to answer some of your hurricane questions. Hashtag hurricane questions if you want an answer. So Jacob wants to know, will Tropical Storm Hannah become a Category 2 hurricane today? Well, to answer your question, we know that it's a hurricane right now. We just got the newest advisory, so that just got updated. It's a Category 1, but will it become a Category 2? But as you can see, the winds are going to be up around 80 miles per hour by late this afternoon toward the evening time frame, somewhere between Corpus Christi and Brownsville. But if you look at the Saffir-Simpson wind scale, those winds have to be at least 96 miles per hour for it to become a hurricane or Category 2 hurricane. And at this point, Jacob, we are not expecting that to happen.